Hello everyone, my name is Sangwin and welcome to Introduction to Angular. So in the last video we talked about how to install Angular CLI into your system and create a new project using Angular CLI. Now in this video we will be going through the various files that are available in an Angular project. So as you know, last time we created a new project, that is SANG app. So let's go to that project folder first. Now for web development I use VS Code. You might use any other code editor, but I do have good experience in VS Code, so I'll open this project into VS Code now. As you can see, all the files are available here. So when we run the command ng-new and your project name, it will automatically create these files into Angular project. Now there are different folders and files available in this, so we will be going through them one by one. Now here you can see there are 3 folders and many files available. So now let's go through them one by one. First of all, there's folder called E2E. Now when we build our project we need to write test cases for that as well. So this E2E folder contains all the end-to-end test cases that we need to write for this application. So there are sample test cases written in this as well, so you can go through them. Now the second folder is node modules. This might be familiar to you. It contains all the npm dependencies for the required for this project. Now third folder is source folder. This folder will contain all the business logic of our application. We will create components, directives, services in this folder itself, in the app folder. It contains few demo files as well. So there's one module, a component, and a routing file. In assets, we need to put all our static files. For example, icons, fonts, images, all those static files will go into the assets folder. Now there's one folder called environments. Now this we will go through in upcoming videos. It is used for different you can say environments. For example, we have dev environment on our local machine and a production which goes up on the server. Now for that we will need different configurations in environment product file and different configurations in environment file. For example, I need to put a server URL here, so it will be of localhost. But when we go into the production file, it will have server URL, API URL of the server itself. For example, google.com or maps or any confidential data that you want to change on the server side in the production. And below that we have index.html. This will the base file of our application which can be changed in angular.json. We will go through that as well. So this has an app root in which all our application will be invoked. There's main.ts which is responsible for bootstrapping our application. It will bootstrap the first module, that is app module, in the app folder. You can also create your custom module and invoke it from this. And there's one enable production mode. Whenever you are in the production, there are few settings that Angular needs to make. So you need to enable production mode on the production itself. There are polyfills file. You know about the polyfills file. So you might want to add any polyfills in your project, then you can edit this file. There's style.scss. Any styles you want to make globally in the app whole Angular application, let it be app component or any other custom component you have, then you can add those styles over here. For example, if you want to use padding equal to 0 class anywhere in your project, then instead of writing in 10 times, you can directly put it here. For example, padding 0 as 0 and write it anywhere in your project. It will be supported. There are few more files. As you can see, there's git ignore. Whatever the files you don't want to push onto GitHub, you can write them here. For example, test, temporary files, node modules. You don't want them to be on your GitHub repository, so you can put them there. There's angular.json. Now in our application we have few settings that we need to manage. So that settings are into this angular.json file. This is the configuration file of Angular itself. So for example, we chose while creating our project, we chose SCSS files. Now whenever I create a new component, it will automatically generate a SCSS file for that specific component. So if you want CSS or you want to change all the CSS patterns, you can say CSS file. You want to transfer to CSS files, then you can mention here CSS. And whenever you create a new component, it will automatically create a CSS file for that instead of SCSS. Now the root. Root will be the directory in which our project is created. For example, sang app. This will be our root directory for this project. Then there's source root. Now, source root is a default source directory, src directory. So if you want to change, you can create a new folder and give its name here. So it will automatically get uh, compiled. Now prefix is prefix to the component selector. For example, the component selector of app component is app and hyphen root. Now if you want to change this prefix for all the components, it can be changed from here. Many such settings are available into this file. For example, output path, where you want to build your application. This will be the build path of our application. The index file, so this will be the index file of starting up of our application. Main file path, this is the main file name. Same configurations are available here. Now in assets, any file you don't want to delete while building the project or you want to keep them, you can add them here. For example, they have, by default they have put favicon.ico. Now when we build the project, the favicon.ico file will be available in the build as well. We can look it up in the upcoming videos as well. So these are few settings available into the angular.json. We will go through them in the upcoming videos whenever needed. Now there's one more important file, that is package.json. So package.json will have all the dependencies versions. For example, we are using Angular 9, so it will have Angular animations 9, common, compiler, all these module versions it will maintain. As you can see, there are all the dependencies as well as their versions mentioned here. Also there's readme file. You can edit this according to your project. There are many editors available. There is Typescript configuration file. you can add or remove any decorations you want to enable here. And there is linting file. So this is used for cleaner code. It will throw you errors if you disable or enable these settings, that you need a semicolon here or you have extra spaces. If you don't want these kind of code quality errors, then you can enable this and write a good clean code. So this was all about the introduction to the file structure. We will go through them in the upcoming videos when we try to create a component or a service, or we write a new code. So you will get to learn more about this. So this is it for me right now. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you like the video, and follow me for upcoming videos as well. Thank you so much. Please put down the comments if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them and solve them. Thank you.